Maybe today is your birthday. Happy birthday. You realize that you have not changed since your last birthday, and you're self reflecting about the things that you've done. You're still complaining about your weight gain, your financial problems. You feel like there's no time for you to do anything. It's probably you need to change your habits. But you know the saying, old habits die hard. Is that true? Hi, my name is Andri Syafaat. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Now in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips on how you can break your bad habits in order for you to form good ones. The tips that I'm going to share comes from the Atomic Habits book from James Clear. Let's begin. What is actually a habit? Habits are in fact automated behaviors that most of us have learned through our experience. When you cross the street, you don't think about what to do next. You automatically look both ways, whether it's safe or not, and then you decide to cross the street. It's a habit, a behavior that you've repeated it so many times that it now happens automatically. Habits begin with a cue or a trigger to act. Walking into a dark room cues you to perform an action that will enable sight. Next comes a craving for a change in state, in this case to be able to see. Then comes our response or action, flicking the light switch. The final step in the process and the end goal of every habit is the reward. Here, it's the feeling of mild relief and comfort that comes from being able to see your surroundings. Changing our habits is challenging for 2 reasons. 1, we make an effort to change the wrong thing. 2, we attempt to change our habits in the wrong way. Now, according to James Clear, there are 3 layers of behavior change. The first layer is changing your outcomes. This level is concerned with changing your results, losing weight, publishing a book, winning a championship, getting more views on your YouTube channel. Most of the goals you are set are associated with this level of change. Now, the second layer is changing your process. This level is concerned with changing your habits and systems, implementing new routine at the gym, decluttering your desk for better workflow, developing a meditation practice. Most of the habits you build are associated with this level. Now, the third and deepest layer is changing your identity. This level is concerned with changing your beliefs, your worldview, your self-image, your judgments about yourself and others. Most of the beliefs, assumptions, and biases you hold are associated with this level. So here are 5 tips to break your bad habit and form good ones. Tip number 1. Apply the 4-step pattern. James Clear suggests the 4-step pattern. Let's say you want to change your eating habit and you decide to start eating healthy food. So you eat fruits. Step number 1 is to make it obvious. Don't hide your fruits in your fridge. Put them on display, front and center. Step number 2, make it attractive. Start with the fruit you like the most so you'll actually want to eat one when you see it. Step number 3, make it easy. Don't create needless friction by focusing on fruits that are hard to peel. Bananas and apples are super easy to eat, for example. Step number 4, make it satisfying. If you like the fruit you picked, you love eating it and feel healthier as a result. Now you can apply these to all kinds of good habits like running, working on a side project, spending more time with your family, and so on. In contrast, do the opposite for bad habits. Make them invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. For example, you want to watch less TV. You could hide your remote control, unplug the TV, and put your TV in the kitchen instead of your living room. Tip number 2, start small. We don't notice tiny changes because their direct impact is minor. If you are out of shape today and go for a 20-minute run, you'll still be out of shape tomorrow. On the contrary, if you eat a burger for dinner, you won't gain weight overnight. But if you repeat small behaviors day after day, our choices compound into major results. Eat burger every day, and it's likely you will have gained significant weight after a year. Go for a run for 20 minutes every day, and you'll eventually be leaner and fitter, even though you won't have noticed the change happening. If you want to make a positive change in your life, you should recognize that change requires patience, as well as confidence that your habits are keeping you on the right path, even if you aren't seeing instant results. So, if you find that your behaviors and habits don't seem to be paying off, try to focus on your current path rather than your current results. If you have little money in the bank but you are saving something each month, then you can be confident that your path is right. Your current results might not be excellent, but keep going in this direction. And in a few months or a few years, you will notice a major improvement. By contrast, a millionaire who outspends his earnings each month may not be worried about his bank statements from one month to the next, but in the end, his path will catch up with him. The key to making big changes in your life doesn't have to involve major disruption. You don't need to change your behavior or reinvent yourself. Rather, you can make tiny changes to your behavior, which, when repeated time and time again, will become habits that may lead to great results. Tip number 3, the 2-minute rule. We often spend a lot of time on behaviors that are easy. For example, scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media platforms. These things take zero effort, so it's easy for it to fill up lots of our time. Doing 150 push-ups or studying Chinese or Spanish, in contrast, requires a lot of effort and work. Repeating those behaviors daily until they become habits is tough. Therefore, making behaviors as easy as possible is key to turning them into habits. Fortunately, there are a few actions we can embrace to make anything seem easier. The first is to focus on reducing friction. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, has always been hopeless at sending greeting cards, while his wife never fails to do so. Why is that? Well, she keeps a box of greeting cards at home, pre-sorted by occasion, making it easier to send congratulations or condolences or whatever is called for. Since she doesn't have to go out and buy a card when someone gets married or has an accident, there's no friction involved in sending one. You can also use this approach to increase friction for bad habits. If you want to waste less time in front of the TV, unplug it and take the batteries out of the remote. Doing so will introduce enough friction to ensure you only watch when you really want to. The second trick for making a habit easier in the long term is the 2-minute rule, a way to make any new activity feel manageable. The principle is that any activity can be extracted into a habit that is doable within 2 minutes. Want to read more? Don't commit to reading one book every week. Instead, make a habit of reading 2 pages per night. Want to run a marathon? Commit to simply putting on your running shoes every day after work. The 2-minute rule is a way to build easily achievable habits, and those can lead you to greater things. Once you've pulled on your running shoes, you probably head out for a run. Once you've read 2 pages, you're likely to continue. The rule recognizes that simply getting started is the first and most important step toward doing something. This also refers to the power of showing up. Tip number 4, change your system. Create a framework, structure, system, whatever you can call it, to keep your habits on track using trackers and contracts. Whether you're trying to write your journal or give up smoking, managing your own behaviors can be hard. Thankfully, there are a few simple measures that can help. Habit tracking is a simple but effective technique. Now, many people have kept a record of their behaviors and habits. One of the most well-known is USA's founding father, Benjamin Franklin. From the age of 20, Franklin kept a notebook in which he recorded loyalty to 13 personal virtues, which included aims like avoiding useless conversation and to always be doing something useful. He noted his success every night. You also can develop a habit tracker. using a simple calendar or diary and crossing off every day that you stick with your chosen behaviors. You'll find it effective because habit tracking itself is an attractive and satisfying habit. The anticipation and action of crossing off each day will feel good and keep you motivated. The next technique is to develop a habit contract that carries out negative consequences if you fail to stay on track. Brian Harris, an entrepreneur from Nashville, took his habit contract very seriously. In a contract signed by him, his wife, and his personal trainer, he committed to get his weight down until it reached 200 pounds. He identified specific habits that would help get him there, including tracking his food intake each day and weighing himself each week. Then he set up penalties for not doing those things. If he failed to track food intake, he would have to pay $100 to his trainer. If he failed to weigh himself, he would owe $500 to his wife. The strategy worked, driven not just by his fear of losing money, but by his fear of losing face in front of two people who mattered to him. Humans are basically social animals. We care about the opinions of those around us. So simply knowing that someone is watching you can be a powerful motivator for success. So why not set yourself a habit contract, even if it isn't as detailed as Harris's? Consider making a commitment to your partner, your best friend, or one of your coworkers. If you agree upon a set of consequences for failing to follow through, you'll be much more likely to stick to your habits. And as we've seen, sticking to a positive habit, however small, is a guaranteed way to achieve big things in life. Tip number 5. Use habit stacking. Identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. The habit stacking formula looks like this. For example, after I drink a cup of coffee, I will do 10 push-ups. Create a habit list for creating new habits. Make a list with 2 columns. In the first column, write down the habits you do each day without fail. In the second column, write down all the things that happen to you each day without fail. Armed with these 2 lists, you can begin searching for the best place to layer your new habit into your lifestyle. Habits like read more or eat better are worthy causes, but these goals do not provide instructions on how and when to act. Be specific and clear. For example, after I wake up, after I take a shower, after I sit down at the table. The specifics and details are important. The more tightly bound your new habit is to a specific cue, the better the odds are that you will notice when the time comes to act. A tiny change in your attitude and behavior will not change your life instantly in one day. However, turn that behavior into a habit that you perform every single day, and it totally can lead to bigger changes. Changing and altering your life is not about making big breakthroughs or reforming your entire life. It's actually about building a positive system of habits when it's synchronized. It will bring remarkable results. So that is it. I hope this video was worth your time and meaningful for you. Don't forget to smash that like button and please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching. See you soon.